Hey there, and welcome to Lessons and Legacies. This is episode 12, and we are doing an impromptu Lessons in Laughter today. For those of you who do follow me on my Facebook page, you'll see that we were originally scheduled to do Lessons in Resilience with Danny Murphy, but my friend Danny got stuck on the job today, which is good because the job means more holiday money, right? Or bill pay money, either way you look at it. The job means cash, so that's good. I'm happy that that is happening. And happy to say we are going to be rescheduling, so we'll post that. I don't know, maybe we can do like a special New Year's Eve kind of thing. But yes, I'm be looking forward to Danny coming back because he is in charge of all the photography in my book. Lessons We've Learned, Legacies of Life, which is actually the reason this show is happening. I just published this book this year. I co-wrote it with my mom. Her name is Renee Bodell. She lives in Detroit, Michigan, and I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. The book is a collaboration of poetry, testimonies, quotes, art, photography, stories. From kids from age 4 to all the way up to adults of 94. And it's a beautiful, beautiful project that I'm very happy and blessed to see come to fruition. There's one of Danny's pictures. He's a very, very, very blessed photographer. But yes, if you'd like to get your own copy of my book, you can visit my store, which is lessonsandlegacies.company.site. And I've got it scrolling right below. And I also will pop the link in the comments after the show. But so Danny, I'm happy he's at work and getting the cash going. And so today I decided just at last minute, I wasn't really feeling like doing the resilience so much without him, because that was just something I had planned around him being here. And I was feeling like a little bit more in a lighter mood myself. And I'll tell you why. It's 2 days away from Christmas. So yay, there's the holiday spirit and all that stuff. We want to be joyous and joyful. But also there has been struggles leading up to the holiday season as well. You know, we have to battle through the stores and the shipping with Amazon and the deadlines and the money in the bank and, you know, not being able to see family. Maybe your health isn't the greatest, you know, this time of year, not being able to be around the ones you love. This time of year is it could be a little bit stressful. And while resilience would be a perfect word to go along with that same theme, I feel like what was really needed today was laughter. So I'm going to have my friend Precious, who co-hosts with me on Mondays. She's going to be coming on here shortly. And we're going to just bring you guys some shenanigans and laughter and fun. And in the meantime, I did a little bit of research on laughing because for those of you who have followed along, you'll know that the laughter chapter was the hardest chapter to write in the book. I actually even called on Precious and was like, man, I've written like everything in this chapter. Like laughter is not something that's like just generic and you can just stir it up whenever, you know, unless you're a comedian, which sometimes I can be, but often I'm not, you know. If you got to think about it, it's hard, you know. I can be funny, but just because I'm an open book and I don't, you know, I try not to have a lot of shame, so to speak. But I don't know. Laughter was a tough one. I called Precious and was like, please, she's such an amazing poet. She's somebody I've followed for years and I've got all her books, and she's very inspirational and soul stirring, and she's a soul doctor, actually. It's one of her professions. But I was like, you think you can write a poem on laughter, please? And she did. She took to it. It's a beautiful poem. It's in the book. It's in our 3rd chapter. And maybe she'll read it today, maybe not. I don't know. We did do it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. We did a laughter segment before, and I was just telling her earlier today, I said, I want to do another laughter episode with you because that was probably my favorite episode I've done so far. We had so many people that were engaging and going back and forth. We played some games, the Would You Rather game, which we're going to play today. And yeah, it's just funny seeing the comments that pop up on the screen as people are typing in their would you rathers. It's like camel spit, I'd rob a bank, blah, blah, blah. So we just laughed a lot. And that, like I said, that left me feeling probably the best out of every show I've done so far. So we're going to try and just bring the jolly to you guys today and do the same thing. So in the meantime, hold on. I do apologize if I end up rubbing my face a lot through this. I'm not crying. I probably will be crying laughter tears later, but I got mascara in my eye, and then I rubbed it, and I had soap on my finger or hairspray or something because it felt like I rubbed my eye then with acid. So it's continuously watering here, and I may end up having black streaks coming down by the end of the show. We'll see, but I'm not crying. I'm just fighting off mascara and hairspray in my eye. So if that doesn't make you laugh, right? We got to laugh. All right. So before I came on, I was looking up some little tidbits on laughter here that I wanted to share with you guys. And did I bring my glasses? I did. That's probably going to help with the mascara in the eye. All right. Benefits of laughter. Check it. Laughter is good for your overall health. They say, first of all, laughter relaxes the whole body. A good hearty laugh relieves physical tension and stress, leaving your muscles relaxed for up to 45 minutes after. So I will say if you are one that's suffering from tension or pains that come from tension, please, I would, like my friend William Brown, he is one that's been having chronic neck pain and stuff like that. I would venture to say that if you were to pump out a laugh or two throughout the day intentionally, like a good hearty laugh, they say it's supposed to relax your body for up to 45 minutes. That's pretty cool. That's free too. That's free medicine. Hold on, my children. Laughing at that too. So number 2, they say laughter boosts the immune system. It says that laughter decreases stress hormones and increases immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies, thus improving your resistance to disease. Well, they're locked out now. So yes, we are in the middle of a pandemic and stuff right now, right? It says laughter can boost your antibodies and your immune system. Free again. Hey Steph, how you doing? I got your message too, and I have to be honest, I haven't had a minute to watch it yet. I will do it this evening. We've been having a lot of family issues and things that have been going late night into the next day. So I know that you sent that for that reason, and I will watch it. I promise you this evening, and I will send you my at least one. I'll do better. I'll give you my top 3 aha takeaways from that. And thank you very much. And if Jeffrey ends up seeing this, Jeffrey Woolston, my family was another friend that sent me a really, really powerful, inspirational. Stephanie, I'll tag you in this one. This will knock you off your socks. I watched it actually right before I came on. I was like, how in the world am I going to get into laughter after that? I was joyfully crying and just, really moved. It was a really, really powerful spiritual message. So I'm going to actually send that to you, and then you can give me your takeaway on that. Okay. We'll do a trade. So thank you to Jeffrey if he's watching, because that shifted my day. I sent it to 3, and I'm about to send it to a 4th friend, shared it, joined her page, followed her YouTube page. Her name's Krista Alicia. That hit me in all the ways that I needed to hear everything. It was awesome. Awesome. Super, super, super inspiring. It's going to be a December to remember. All right. So on laughter, we're doing lessons in laughter. Okay. And Precious is going to be joining me here shortly, and we're going to cut it up like we did a few weeks ago during a laughter thing, and play the Would You Rather game, which was hilarious. So another benefit of laughter, it says it triggers the release of endorphins, which are the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Endorphins promote an overall sense of well-being and can even temporarily relieve pain. Yet again, another pain reliever. Number 4, it says laughter protects the heart. And I think laughter comes from the heart too. It comes from the heart and therefore protects it. It says laughter improves the function of blood vessels and increases blood flow, which can help protect you against a heart attack and other cardiovascular problems. See, I didn't know all this stuff. I've always heard like laughter can relieve stress and stuff like that, but I didn't know there was all these cool like physical benefits too. It says laughter burns calories. Okay, so it's no replacement for going to the gym, but one study found that laughing for 10 to 15 minutes a day can burn approximately 40 calories. I mean, 40 calories. So if 10 minutes, you can burn 40 calories, which could be enough to lose 3 or 4 pounds over the course of a year. So just at 10 minutes a day. So if you can laugh for like twice that, you could be losing, I mean, do the math. 6 to 8 pounds a year just from laughing. Free medicine. It says laughter lightens anger's heavy load. And that is the truth. I'll tell you what, man, because I've been having some angers and frustrations lately myself, like just through this very recent last month or so. And I'll tell you, that's the best medicine in the world. My mom will find a way to make me laugh. Precious will usually find a way to make me laugh. My husband, he has to work at it. He's really good at it. He has to get it a right way so that I'm not all like, I'm sensitive right now. Be sensitive to that, you know? He's good at poking at me though, and picking on me. That usually makes me laugh. Coming from him anyways. Other people might make me feel bad, but he can do it. It says nothing diffuses anger and conflict faster than a shared laugh. Looking at the funny side can put problems into perspective and enable you to move on from confrontations without holding on to bitterness and resentment. Amen to that. And it says, here's the big one. Laughter may even help you to live longer. What? I've heard that before, actually. It says a study in Norway found that people with a strong sense of humor outlived those who don't laugh as much. The difference was particularly notable for those battling cancer. Who would think to do that study, you know? That's what comes to mind as I hear these things. I'm like, who would think to like, let's measure laughter against cancer? You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty powerful though, right? And then it just says, okay, so on the mental health benefits, it says it adds joy and zest to life. It eases anxiety and tension, relieves stress, improves the mood, strengthens resilience, which is what we were originally going to be talking about today. So that's cool. And let's see. And then social benefits, which is another interesting side point on laughter. Social benefits of laughing, it says it strengthens relationships, which is definitely true. It attracts others to us, which is definitely true. I don't know. I've got a couple friends like my girl Dawn Pedalino that was on with me Tuesday last week. I think it was. We did Faith, I want to say. She laughs, oh my gosh, from the toes up. You could hear her a block away. And she's one of those people, when you hear them laugh, it's contagious. You just start laughing. Or like I hear my kids when they start giggling and they just like, they're to the point where they're turning purple and they can't do anything and they're just hysterical. I don't even know what they're laughing at, but I start laughing my butt off because they're laughing. It's contagious, you know? Let's see. It says it enhances teamwork, which is true. It helps us diffuse conflict and promotes group bonding. I like that. It says it helps diffuse conflict. Does anybody here ever like laugh or giggle when they get nervous or they're unsure? I do. Now you know that moving forward when you watch me. If you hear me just giggling for whatever, It's usually because I'm like nervous about something, you know, like right there. See, I just did it. But yeah, so it diffuses conflict, maybe even an internal conflict, like, okay, maybe you said something silly. Let me giggle and it'll make it all better. Huh. You know? So I catch myself doing it. So I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, anyways, we're here. We're going to be talking about laughter. If you don't mind, take a moment to like, comment, share. Lessons and Legacies is live streaming on YouTube, so you can check us out there. And please subscribe. That would be awesome. I did. Do you need it? That's Precious texting me now saying, where's the link? Let me see. Let me see if we can re-invite her here because it's perfect timing. Copy that. Let's get her in. If I can find her. Precious. And sorry, guys. Paste. All right, boo. I just sent it. Okay, back at you. Sorry, guys. Yeah, visit the YouTube channel, subscribe. That helps me out a lot as well. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, if you're interested in coming on the show, I love having guests. I try to have at least 3 a week. And we go through the chapters in my book. You can pick from either love, faith, laughter, resilience, or success as a topic. You can share anything that you've written, anything that you do as far as a business or like an entrepreneurship. If you play music, if you do art, whatever it is, come talk to us about something in that area. You know, the reason I wrote this book, Lessons We've Learned, Legacies of Life, was to show that even though we all come from different spaces, places, and backgrounds and whatnot, we are so knit together by those 5 topics right there. Those 5 areas: love, faith, laughter, resilience, and success. Everybody's got stories. Even if it's not your story, you'll be like, my grandmother used to tell me this all the time growing up, blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, you want to sing us a song, you want to play us a guitar song. If you like to paint, you are a photographer, if you, whatever it is that you do, you want to share, you want to promote, you want to put your story out there. I'll tell you, your lessons, your experiences are what you leave behind to make a difference in this world. I used this example once in another episode. It's like, if you touch the top of the stove and it's hot, you get burned. And then you be sure to tell everyone else that the stove is hot. I've done that before. And first thing I do, don't touch that. That's hot. I tell my husband, don't set anything on it. It's hot. I tell the kids, don't touch it. It's hot. You know, why? Because you don't want them to get burned. But if we keep that to ourselves, that's what happens. Everybody gets burned. So by coming on the show and sharing your stories, whether they're funny, whether they're tough, whether they're yicky or whatever, just come on and share it, because you're letting the world know that you're there, and that they're not alone. And I am very happy to say Queen Precious has arrived. How you doing, boo?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I thank you so very much for last minuting on with me. I know you're always game. I know you are, but I'm like, today'll be the day she's like out shopping or doing something else or helping Ron with the turkeys. And, you know, so thank you so much for coming on. And I think this is a blessed switch up, honestly. I'm excited to do the laughter. I don't know if you were listening before you popped on, but I went through like all these cool benefits of laughter on the body.
I was literally to the second.
You were listening, or you were just like,
no, I said no. I was literally to the second. Like, Badell, you done with the computer real quick?
What are you guys doing?
Well, he was doing some work on the computer, and I was organizing because we still never put up our tree. So I was cleaning out the closet.
That's what you were saying.
My ornaments, you know, and looking for all the stuff. And I pulled out the tree. So I'm like, I was going to surprise the kids because they aren't here. So when they come back, the tree will be up. So I find little
Very cool.
now that they're big like that. So they'll come home. And I was like, yeah, when Essence gets back on Wednesday, we're going to put the tree up and all of that. But really, you know, I'm like you. I'm like, no, we need the ornament over there. They really don't care about that stuff. They just,
right.
You know,
They just like to throw it all up there.
So that's like that'll be a good surprise that I'll win because now my way, and they'll be like, oh, the tree is up.
Right.
Nobody really wants to do the work.
That's right. That's what moms are for. So I have to, before we get into the fun stuff here, I have to run something by you. I'm going to give you a soul doctor opportunity here. And I gave you your shout out in the beginning too, as she is a soul doctor. For those of you who missed yesterday's episode, Precious was on with me yesterday. And what was our topic yesterday? What did we do? Love. Yeah, we did love. We were both blessed yesterday.
Yeah.
We both had real good stuff yesterday. And she woke up with a new title for herself for moving forward. And she is no longer the soul coach. She is the one and only soul doctor. So, yay! And on yesterday's show,
wait, we can't forget. I came to clear the viruses in your heart drive. I came to clean the viruses in your heart drive. That's what it's all about. That soul.
And the soul print
position. And because everybody is different, because everybody's story and their makeup, that's why they say our fingerprint is different. So is our soul print. And what I've recognized through everybody through all the years, whether they're kids, whether they're adult, men, women, doesn't matter what their title or where they are, it was all about the condition of their soul. And so everybody, I can't coach everybody together. I can speak to everybody at the same time and everybody gets something different because that's how it works. It's all about an individual type of healing because everybody's story, my goodness, is so alike but so different. They just need one little thing that just sets them off, sets them free, unplugs them. So yeah.
I'm very proud of you. And it feels so cool saying the soul doctor. I love it. All right. So listen, I have to throw this at you and I'm just curious what you would have to say, just like I did yesterday. Same situation. Yesterday, my lesson in love came from a conversation over gifts with my daughter. Sophie, she's 7, right? So I took mom's advice and your advice, and I soaked it all in and was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and support this. Go ahead, buy me, use your Amazon cards, buy me some stuff. Go for it, flip the script, talked it out. Everybody was good. So this is what happened today, like literally a half hour before I came on. So I haven't really processed it all quite yet, but it is what it is. It was an opportunity. Sophie I told him, get on your tablets, go ahead, get on the Amazon. And when you find what it is that you want and you get it all situated, let me know. And then I'll put you on my phone and you can do the little order and through my thing,
Yeah.
And so they were all excited starting out shopping and they each had $25 gift cards, but they're each trying to get something for mommy and daddy, so they're each trying to get 2 things up off that $25, And so after 5 minutes of the fun of searching, and it was an opportunity for them to appreciate how much things cost, you know.
Absolutely.
Sophie sits there on my bed and just starts bawling her eyes out, weeping. I'm like, what is it? And she's like, I want to get something nice for both of you, and it's only $25. And she's crying, and I was like, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. So, and I told her, and I could feel myself getting flushed and worked up and emotional. And I said, listen, do you think that mommy and daddy haven't cried a little bit over that too? Because we want to be able to do everything.
I want you to pause right there. Because this is how life happens. They give you the moments to make life make sense. And you remove the distraction so we can feel real life. That's why being a parent, I say transparent has parent in it. Because if you parent your kid, you got to be clear about the truth. Otherwise, they are never prepared for the real world. And they go off expecting magic when the magic starts within. So I'm glad that so keep on going. because I just had to stop you right
No,
there.
So I told her, I said, Mommy and Daddy have cried about it too. We told them, like, you're only getting one gift. You can pick one big thing, each one of you, and that's what you get from us. Because, the rest comes from Santa. But I said, listen, we can only, and I told her, I reminded her of that. Like, we only have what we have. I said, what you have right now is that $25. I said, you don't need to spend all of it. You don't, I said, go, she was wanting to get Daddy a hat or a shirt and this, and it was
it would have been cute.
Shirt for $20. I told her to get him, like, he plays guitar every day. I said, it's his favorite thing in the world. So she got and picked him out. It was an $8 guitar pick. One, and she's like, but it's just one and it's so small, and it says I couldn't pick a better dad. And she's like, but he loses his guitar picks and this and that. I said, but now between here and now, or here and when the pick comes, I said, why don't you go make him a little case or a tray or something for him to put it in, and we'll put it right on the new desk here, right under his guitar. He will not lose that. He won't lose it because it's from you. And every time he plays it, he's going to think of Sophie because Sophie got it that said, I couldn't pick a better dad. I was like, so I was like, it doesn't matter what it costs. And I said, no, you still have this left over. But I just wanted you to know, like, so it went through this. Oh, and I was like, oh, I was dying inside watching her cry. And I'm like, it just, how we talked yesterday about, how you kind of moved into the different traditions and doing Kwanzaa, and there's a purpose around each gift, and it's spaced out, and it's not this charade. And I've been for the last couple of years wanting to get away from that too. That was like slammed in my face so hard this afternoon. Like, I don't want her to go through all of her life, all the way up to my age. She just did it for the first time at 7, what I've been doing for years. I'm like, this is not.
It's not the tradition you want to set up. It's not that, because that, to be honest, that is the true tradition given the condition that you're in at the time. And that's not what the season is about. The season is about giving from the place that you have. And that is wherever. And so if you're on the top of the world, then you can give from that place. And if you're on just family and friends, then you cook a good meal. You do from the life and the reality of what you created at the time, because everybody must process into promise. And there were times when you had those stories, but that made you work for the better stories as you grow. But that still lets you know that it gets better. If you don't get better as you go, what really are we expecting? What are we anticipating if we don't believe that it's going to get better? And so I think to watch the evolution is the reminder that it gets better, but it also gets as good as you make it. And what you create it to be is the essence that it will carry. So if you make it material, that's going to be the thing that matters. If you make it family, that's going to be that matters. If you make it, so even like you said, there's some people that are during the holiday because of the pandemic, theirs is not financial. They can have all the money in the world, but because they can't travel, that is a loss, and so everybody's loss is about the place in which they got comfortable with. And if pandemic taught us anything, it was that the only way to shift is to get uncomfortable. We have become so complacent that when something comes that's different, we can't even handle it. We're rattled. And we're rattled by change. And change is what makes us arrive. Like, if we're not moving, then nothing is changing. And so the very thing that we desire to always be moving forward, we can't take the process of what it means to, to move forward, which it means things happen and stuff change and you get better. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. But I mean, it's just life. And I think that is the meaning of Christmas. Let me tell you something. I went and found my book. That's what I was looking all through the boxes of, because I have to find my black. Well, this is the book that I got when I first started writing poetry. So this book my aunt gave me in 1992.
Oh, wow. I like the front of it.
Hey, and she wrote in the beginning of this book, to Precious with love, strength, and tenacity, be all you can be, have faith, love, on Diane. So this was my first book that I began to write in. So, so it's still in pretty good condition for it to be,
heck yeah,
as old as it is, huh?
I keep all my stuff too. It's all, I'm pretty sure I have it all compiled in one box at this point. Now, I've had a couple different boxes, but I've got notebooks from when I was, I think, starting at 12 years old. I still have, I think my first collection of poetry I got an award from in 8th grade, I think was my first one. So yeah, we're writers. We protect that stuff and keep it. That's our heart. That's our heart out on paper, you know?
It's like everybody's running for their bags. I'm running for my box of books. Not the books that I can buy from Amazon. I'm not looking for those books. I'm looking for my box of journals. I keep all of my stuff in one place because you go get the box. It is the lifeline.
Amen.
Everything. When everybody was reading books, I was writing. Like every second I got, it was like, okay, I can get this stuff out of my head. So I never had time to read much. So I love that now my library consists of people I know. Because
I know, isn't that so cool? That is so cool. I love that. On the other side, I have been a bookworm since birth, always with my nose in a book. Till I had kids, because it's just I just started getting into audiobooks over the last couple years because I'm like, at least I can enjoy it and multitask at the same time. You know, it's harder for me to get time as a parent to sit and do nothing and read. You know what I mean? But I've always been a bookworm, and I think it is so cool. I have a whole bookshelf, a whole shelf of the whole top shelf is all people I know. And I love that. I'm like,
That's what I love.
To be surrounded by similar spirits, you know?
Yeah.
I'm proud of all of us.
I love it. But I was saying now, I'm going to share, I wanted to share my poem that I wrote when I was 15. And it's called, well, actually, I wasn't 15 yet because this is January 2nd of 1995. So I don't turn 15 till August, okay? So this is the beginning of the year. But the poem, so I'm 14 now when I wrote this. But it's called Black Nativity. And I think this is what, you know, I needed my kids to know about Christmas. The real meaning of Christmas. So in my church that I grew up in New York, every year they did a play called Black Nativity. You know, the Langston Hughes, they you know, and we did it every year, and you know, they showed the birth of Joseph and Mary. And so after experiencing it, me being a poet, I decided to write a poem.
Of course she did. Of course she wrote a poem.
She did. And so then it was like, I gotta share a poem at church, you guys. I got a Black Nativity poem for you guys. So it's called Black Nativity. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Joseph and Mary being treated like strangers, walking through the streets where there were so many dangers. No one to help them because they were appalled by what they see. Never give a second thought of who that child would be. Poor Virgin Mary walking around with so much pain. Through it all, the looks and whispers, she never was ashamed. Because she knew the child she would bear, everyone would bow down to in fear. And Joseph stood by her even though the child wasn't his, to try to make sure no matter what, this precious life would live. No matter where they went, no one had room. No one asked questions, they all just assumed. Poor little Jesus born in the manger, no one to help but a street full of strangers.
Wow.
When Christ was born, the word got around that a new savior was born in the town. And everyone went to bow before Christ to welcome the savior who now rules our life. And so that is my Christmas poem. That is what
that is awesome. You can make a book. You can make that into like a kid's book. Honestly. Yeah. Just like the How Special Are You? I think that would be a beautiful Christmas book for kids.
I mean, you might be right. Who knew?
And Sierra can help with the illustration. Get Sierra in there, yeah.
And the other one that's in the book that you have on page 62, this one is called Never Leave Christ Out of Christmas.
All right, I got it. Look, I got mine ready.
So here we go. This is a good one, especially for the time when the kids, or in a time when people are feeling like, you know, they don't have material things in order to enjoy the season. So this was called Never Leave Christ Out of Christmas. We've come to the part of the year that's all so grand, where we celebrate Christ, the Lord, a man. For unto us a child is born, his name is Christ, a savior born to save our life. We should acknowledge Christ every day. But today we acknowledge Christ in a more special way. The way we acknowledge each other when it's our birthday comes. The way we like to feel like we are the special ones. We allow commercialized TV to take away from the fact that our Savior was born on this day. Plus, he's Black. Although we love white Christmases, because the snow is so nice, that's still no reason to forget about the man who rules our life. Although it's nice to decorate the tree, that's still no reason to forget about the man who never forgets about you or me. Although Christmas carols are musical and give great cheer, that's still no reason to forget about the man who is there for us all year. Although gifts are nice and supplies us with the things we want for ourselves, that's still no reason to forget about the man who supplies us with everything else. Although Christmas cards are pretty and great to read, that's still no reason to forget about the man who has planted us as our parents' seed. Some of us give Santa the credit and act so amazed. And now is about time we wake up and give God the praise. Because this is his day as well as every other. And it's about time we woke up to tell one another. Acknowledge our Savior who was born today. Acknowledge him in each and every way. When you say Merry Christmas, mean it from the heart. Because you're talking about the man who gave you and me a start. When you say Merry Christmas, say it with joy. Because you're talking about Joseph's and Mary's little boy. So never leave Christ out of Christmas, for he is the reason for every day, and especially this wonderful holiday season. Happy birthday, Jesus. And that's what you see. Esther always says that on her gifts. It always says from Jesus, from Santa, from Mom
and Dad.
He was always going to get credit over there. Over here.
Great. Precious. I got to read that one to my mom, and my mom wrote a really, really beautiful letter 2 nights ago to Jesus as well. And I would like to share that with you.
I would love to hear it. I love mom's
it was like a prayer, but she wrote it as a letter, and it was pretty good. She shared it with her sister today too. I have to share it with you. I'm going to call her and read her that. So this is like turning into, we should have just done this as like a holiday special.
I know, right? It's whatever we make it. Because we still got to laugh.
And I got those cards ready too. We're not going anywhere until we get some of those funny ones. These were matters of the heart. We can call this this was the follow-up from yesterday too, because things had transpired. We talked about stuff and stuff happened, and I'm so glad you found your book. I swear to God, you need to make that that poem a kid's book. Yeah. I can see the illustrations in my mind. I love the part that really made me all is like walking in the street among all the dangers and stuff. It paints a picture.
And no one to help but a street full of strangers.
Yes.
What is the word? What is the word in the thing? What was it? Oh my goodness. What is the I am in the card game? Is it?
There's 52.
Xenodokio.
Yes, there you go.
It's friendly. I am friendly to strangers.
That's because your next word of the day.
That everybody is a stranger until the spirits meet. So it's our need to show up for each other. So yeah.
Well, I really appreciate that you shared the Christmas love, and
that I found
we've all been needing it. And we were saying, so wait, like I said, I spontaneously texted you this afternoon. I told everybody in the beginning, it was like, Danny canceled. You bored? You want to come on? And I said, we had so much fun during the last time you came on when we did the laughter.
Yes.
I wanted to relive that again because I go back at that episode and
crack
when
up.
the comments pop up at the screen, when you just see the comments and maybe it's even on mute, all you see is like Dr. Deborah, camel spit, Nakia, take it to the face, or I'd rob a bank, all these things. I'm like, it's just the comments are even too funny to watch. You said, I said, well, we're originally planned for resilience, but I really liked our laughter thing. And you said, this is the time of year we got to bring it. Let's chop it up and just bring the joy.
Bring the joy. That's what it's all about. It's the joy of this, the joy of communication, the joy of friendship, the joy of love, the joy of God peace, the unity. I'm just so grateful. It just leaves me in it. Like I said, I was in here and I was reading I read the poem I wrote about when Essence was before I had Essence, and I wrote a a poem when she was growing in the belly, and I'm like in here like, wow, I'm just so grateful to be able to even think about talking with her yesterday on the show, her being 19, and to read about the dream that I have for her, and to go 19 years later and be like, wow, it's so many proofs of wonder of the dreams, the magic that we create, that we just don't sit and enjoy and say, my God, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. But if I could just sit in the magic, it would just take me to places that I only get to by envisioning it first. And I think that's what Lessons and Legacies is. That's what being able to say, I did this, or being able to remember from whence you came. This is what the season is all about, to enjoy your advantage point and not your disadvantage point.
That's right. And right now, we're going to try to put everybody at an advantage point. I got these cards I went through. I got these thousands and thousands of these would you rather cards, and I have so much fun going through them. So I just went through like 100 of them and picked out my few that I liked. And I thought we could, let's get people involved like we did last time. If anybody's watching, we're going to ask a would you rather and give our answers and comments. Put your answers in the comment. It's too much fun not to. This is one of my kids' games, but they do make the adult version. I am considering ordering it for like a late night perspective with the Paulings or something.
Matter of fact, the next time we do, I have a game. I have cards. I have a game for you. Yes, I do. So Saturday night without drinks is about to go down.
I'm ready, and I love it. Yes, join us Saturday night at 9:00 with Precious Pauling and her husband, Chef Ron Pauling, and my husband, Nathan Price, and myself. And we usually like to shenanigan for a bit and have some drinks. It's definitely worth coming to visit, for sure.
Okay, right. I'm ready. What's the first question?
All right, the first question. Would you rather, there's one in here too that I specifically thought of you, and I meant to have it on the top. It had something to do with.
Don't start no trouble.
Oh, here it is. I found it. This is the one I thought of you because I know you're afraid of heights, right? So as a superhero, would you rather be able to fly but be afraid of heights? So you'd be a flying superhero with the fear of heights.
So how you gonna save somebody? I don't know how good or how powerful I'll be doing this.
I read that first one. I didn't even have to go further. I was like, that's Precious already, because she's like, you are my superhero. And I know she's like, but I don't want to be flying.
Look, it's flying for me. But go ahead.
Your emblem would be like FF, fearful flyer instead of frequent flyer. You'd be fearful flyer. The other one would be, so you'd be the fearful flyer, or you'd be able to turn invisible but have terrible gas when you do. So you'd be the stinky invisible woman, or the fearful flying lady.
The easier one. Now, the one that I could see me gaining the most success from, and you know what? I love that is a question, because guess what I'm going to say? The one that I would gain the most success from would be the flying, but that is the one that I'm the most afraid of, because honestly, I don't find nothing wrong with being able to disappear, and then who's gonna be you? Like, so it's like you're like, who was that? You don't even have to go through the who was that stage.
You'd be having people walking by you going, was that me? Is that me?
Because I mean, just imagine, you just go into a room where nobody but them is in the room, and they're like, there's no way you're looking like, is there a dog in here somewhere?
Right. Is there poop? Yeah, you'd be checking your shoes for poop. Did I step in dog poop? Goodness gracious.
I would rather, even with all my fear, because I know what I can gain, I would rather fly.
Would you? I think I was gonna say fly until you brought up the whole fact of like, well, if nobody can see, I'm like, I would totally be the invisible crop duster. I would be the one sneaking by and ruining dates.
That smell.
Just farting in the middle of somebody getting ready to have their first kiss.
Just everybody do the thing all over the place. So yeah, that would be funner. But if we gonna be we still trying to live our lives, I'm gonna fly.
All right, here, this one's gross. I have contemplated this, and I'm not sure which one I would want to do, honestly. All right, would you rather chew gum that was long stuck on the bottom of a bench, or chew gum straight out of a stranger's mouth?
Ah, my God.
Bench, bottom of the bench gum that has been there for probably
oh, well, it's still a string. I'm about to take, and I picked a stranger. How can you pick a stranger? But anyway.
It's got to be a stranger. Well, I guess you could pick as long as you don't know them. It doesn't say you can't pick.
Oh my God.
So you would just be like walking through Teeter and pick a random person and pop that gum and be like, have a nice day. Or you'd have to go up.
This is a would you rather that it's got to be associated with $1 million prize.
You know, I know.
Would you rather if you can make $1 million? If $1 million, would you take the gum out of? Okay, for $1 million. But then the question is, for $1 million, would you take it? It's going to be even harder because now when you take it from somebody who has pandemic, that's
yeah. Well, let's pretend pandemic doesn't exist.
No, you gotta pretend it does because it's $1 million.
That introduces a whole new thing.
Somebody came to you with $1 million, so you have to take gum from a stranger, but they did have COVID before. Will you take the $1 million to change your whole life and potentially die? Potentially, because a lot of people are living through COVID. So that's a harder question.
That is a harder question. And now, because you brought COVID into it, I would say my answer would be the bench gum, because COVID only lives on surfaces for so long. So that takes the COVID out of the picture if you do the bench. But for the $1 million question,
the $1 million question, the only option is that you eat from the COVID stranger.
Now, see, I can go so many ways with this because, I'd be like, it's in God's hands. I got faith in God. But then I'm like, am I gambling with what God gave me too? Am I being
for greed, money for health, but health for wealth? You can afford your health when you got wealth.
That's true. I know. That's a tough one. Feeling.
And then when you have so much promise, it's like you tell yourself, I'm going to do good with the money. So I can multiply myself. So you can give yourself all the reasons to have faith in your yes. And then you can give yourself all the reasons to have faith in your no. The question is, what is the magic you want to produce?
Right. I think I would probably say my husband would take the $1 million. I probably would not. I would probably be like, God'll make, if I'm meant to have that $1 million, he'll make it show up in another way where I don't have to have COVID gum. And
I'm so glad that we both have those husbands, because Rondell is definitely eating the gum, and
Nate would be like,
and Rondell is mad at me because he's thinking you could have ate that gum, and I'm thinking no, I could not. So and that's why we're peanut butter and jelly, opposites attract.
Well, I'm thinking too, if I get the COVID because of the gum, who's going to take care of the kids? I'll have to be away. And I would rather, he would probably rather be the one in the hospital anyways, because he don't want to be flying solo, making all
during the Christmas season, you'll get 75% of people who would take the chance. Just because of the mindset that they have. That's all I'm saying. Unfortunately, because of our circumstances, those are choices that we take every day unconsciously, just because we are making decisions because of where we are, not where we're going. And so that is the point. That I'm glad that came into that, because that is what life is all about. You still get to decide in that moment. And a lot of people's decisions are made from those moments where it was like, I had no choice, and so that's life. That's the realness. It's like how you never know how strong you are till you really got to be strong.
Oh yeah.
All your values is easy to say it when it's not on your table, but somebody put $1 million on the table, then it's like indecent proposal. The whole conversation is like, wait a minute. We got to really talk here.
When you get to see that money and it's really, really there, you know, you're like, there's a lot of stuff I would do for that money. You know,
of those people that had all that, what is it? Integrity.
Yes.
Just had greedy. Then Tag left. Gritty came in.
Give me 1 second.
What? So yeah.
If Mike says it's okay.
But how about you guys? With that, if in this season, if somebody came up to you, we were doing the gum question, Melissa.
Yeah, you bet. Yes. What do you? Yeah. Okay. Well, yours was better. You do yours. I liked yours because that one was tough. Okay. So a question was, well, the original question was, would you rather chew gum that was stuck under a bench for a long time or chew gum straight out of a complete stranger's mouth? And then we went into COVID with it. And I was like, well, COVID doesn't live on surfaces for after this many days. So I would take the bench one. And then Precious was like, well, this needs to be $1 million question. Would you for $1 million?
As we're talking about the season, and most of the time people are sad in the season, mostly because of financial and what they wish they could do. So in this particular season, if you were given that ultimatum to say, listen, would you chew this piece of COVID gum? That just means that COVID gum. Would you chew a piece of COVID gum for $1 million?
Would you take had to keep
it? I mean, somebody had COVID, they gave you their piece of gum, and you had to chew it for $1 million. Would you risk that at this time? And there's some people who are survivors who are gonna be like, I hope they know I had it before I could make it. Yeah,
right, exactly. See, my husband, I was just saying, my husband would be like, I'm probably immune. So
over millions of people caught it for free. So the question is, will you catch it for $1 million?
Right. What would you do, Yvette? Would you chew the COVID gum for $1 million?
Or would you be like, no?
Or would you be like, nope?
I'm happy where I am right now.
Right.
Wealth.
Yes. And money, money, man. Money will make you do some crazy things.
I think that Indecent Proposal was one of those movies that you were like, wow, that's everybody, you know, it was one of those movies like, that's such a good question, you know, especially when you're talking to people starting out and it's like, wow. I always say no, but nobody ever offered us $1 million.
She cracks me up, Yvette.
I will not chew no coronavirus.
I will not chew coronavirus.
Yvette.
See, I said the same thing. I was like, well, if God really wanted me to have that $1 million, he'll make it show up in a way other than COVID gum. And I did volunteer my husband. I was like, he would totally take the hit and chew the gum. And I'm married to him, so I don't really have to. You know what I'm saying? I would stick with a no on that one. But I mean, yeah, lots of people have survived, but you could potentially die if you get the COVID too. So it's like, who's going to take care of my kids?
That's the question. You know? The question is, do you think you can make it?
Yes. Will you survive?
To spend the money?
So you brought up, where to go? So you started bringing up dollars here. I did pick out one card with some monetary value to it. This is a fun one. All right, get ready, Yvette. Would you rather blindside tackle an anonymous 80-year-old woman for $40,000 or decline the money? So would you tackle an anonymous 80-year-old woman for 40 grand? So just whoever, grandma walking out the grocery store, would you just, boom, take her down 40 grand? I mean, you're probably going to spend half of that to replace the hips or whatever gets wrong after that. But
provided
you're like, no, I don't need the money.
Person to come and say you had something to do with it. You're not tackling, keep on running. Because you going to jail, that's assault.
Well,
the question is, can you
make it look like an accident? Or maybe give her 10 grand after. Be like, I'll take this 30. Here's 10. Sorry for the disruption in your day, but you just got $10,000 richer. You don't have to tackle her and hurt her. It doesn't say like she's got to be in the hospital afterwards. You just got to knock her down, you know? Would you knock the 80-year-old stranger down for 40 grand? And then you could potentially bless her with some thousands, you know? I'd go for the money. I would do it. Be like, it's for a good cause. I was trying to make your day.
Listen.
Oh, Yvette says, send me $1 million. Oh, Lynette. Hey, Lynette. She says, is it tax free? Yvette says no, she would not tackle the stranger, the old stranger. But she will take Yvette will take a rock from a catapult to the face.
You know what? You know what? It really, it's so funny. It really depends on the day when you ask that question. Today, probably I won't tackle the stranger. But tomorrow I'll probably run her over. I don't know.
She run her over. Oh my gosh.
No, that is so funny. That is so funny because everybody that says no, I think really secretly would take that 40 grand. Because you can only assume that, you're asking people with nothing. Because it's only going to make it fun like that. You're not going to ask somebody that's like wiping their behind like it's nothing to them. It's only funny when you looking in your reality and you're like 40 grand into my account. Jeez. They got da-da-da. So, a lot of people say no. It depends on the age of the person you're asking.
And you're doing such a brilliant job at segueing into these cards, and you don't even know it. So you just mentioned wiping your behind, right? And money. So on to the next would you rather. Get ready, Yvette, Lynette, Stephanie, if you're still watching. All right. Would you rather, for the rest of your life, use sandpaper for toilet paper, or $20 bills that you must provide from your own money? So wiping your butt for the rest of your life with your own $20 bills, or sandpaper toilet paper?
You know what? I'm going to go with my own.
Can we just stop wiping altogether? No.
I'm gonna go with $20 for my own paper towel, and guess what? I mean, for my own tissue, and that just means that's gonna make me get up extra hard every day, so that I won't get that hard at the end. So I think I'm gonna have to wipe my butt with the $20 for life. I can't be wiping my butt with no sandpaper my whole life. Honey, you know what kind of doctor? First of all, if you go to the bathroom, people matter, and then wipe your behind with a rough and open up all your pores, I just feel like you're gonna have bacteria syndrome all the time.
Yeah, probably.
But that doesn't sound like it's gonna get expensive somewhere else. So you might as well pay that $20, because what that A is gonna cost you is way more than that $20. I mean, how often do you take a boo-boo?
I think you're probably right, but here's a little fun fact. I don't know how much you work with sandpaper or not, and this is my way of trying to get around things.
I use my toilet paper.
We had a duct tape question last time, and I was like, yeah, but there's the smooth side. Just roll it the right way. So there is the other side of sandpaper is just like real paper. So I would go with that and just not wipe with the hard
and hoping. Yeah, I guess so. You're right. You would have to fold it and use the other side. So I guess you could do that.
Yeah, you put the rough side on your hand and then the other side on your bottom,
Anything possible. When I be hearing those questions, I'm looking there like you got to use the hard side up.
That's right. Yvette says she's
thinking they're trying to get you your way out. You can't think your way out of that, Melissa. I think they got two-sided rough. I ain't taking no
They do. My husband doesn't have the two-sided rough. He's got all kinds of paper out there. He's even got one that goes on a sander that's like soft and fuzzy on one side. And I'm like, that'd be the sandpaper for me. Goes like on a little hand sander thing. It's round. And the one side's all like fleece. Feels like fleece. I'll be like, I would totally.
That's not what they're going to give you.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, maybe we get to go pick our own. The
question ain't that bad, because anything's possible. Because if you go with what they say, oh, hunty, you don't got no choices. You either sandpaper or $20. You ain't no sore part of that. They ain't giving you that option. That's too easy. You got to make a hard decision. You can't make
well, if I only had to use the rough side, then I would definitely go with the money. Definitely for sure. I could share too much right now, and I'm gonna not. I'll tell you privately after. It's probably more than I really want the world to know. So, but yeah. All right, let's
Can
move
you
on.
believe that's 59 minutes already? Ah.
Well, I know we popped on later too, and then we got sidetracked because we were talking about Christmas.
No, I'm just saying, you did a whole hour. You were like, you just did your whole hour. That it's over.
Let's do. I'm gonna do two more, and then we will pop off here. All right, this one. Would you rather step on a thumbtack while barefoot, or step in a pile of dog poop barefoot?
I'm gonna step in the dog poop.
I'm going with the tack. Definitely with the tack. I've done the dog poop barefoot before. Oh my God. It's horrifying. And it God forbid if it gets up in your toes and then you got to hop to the bathroom and you've got to rinse it all off and it smells and it's so much. I've done the barefoot dog thing before. I would step on a nail any day.
I guess thumbtack. I'm thinking nail when you said thumbtack. So maybe the thumbtack won't be
like a push pin, I guess.
But I just I think I'd rather
you might have a stronger tolerance for the smell than I do, because if I smell something wrong, I'll be like all day.
No, listen. I guess I have more tolerance for dealing with a smell than pain.
All right, here's the last one. This one I think everybody will like. All right, put your comments in there if you guys have answers.
None of the above. Ouch. That ain't fooling with nothing.
Well, one hurts and the other one has prolonged nasty cleaning and smell and touching and bleh.
I will hop right to the shower, pull that head on full throttle and spray the heck out of that feet, squirt it down with peppermint soap.
Then listen, you're talking to me. I got 9 pretty large tattoos on me. I don't have any problem with needles or anything like that. So I will definitely take the tack to the foot.
And I got one. Look, that's all. I said that was look.
And that was one of the first. We Nate and I both have wrist ones too.
For real?
And I have 2. But yeah, those are not the most fun to get. There's a good chunk on that wrist that's like, it feels like, am I gonna live through this? Should I that feel like I'm getting amputated? It's not a fun place for a tattoo.
We both did our tattoos when we got to our 10th year. So
ours is coming up. April is our 10 year. Yay!
Yeah, so we did, and this is my first and only. This is the only tattoo I ever got right here, and 10 year, and we'll be celebrating 19 in March. So it's 9 years old. So it looks pretty good for almost 9-year-old tattoo.
2022 is your
20-year anniversary. 2022. So we going on 19 in 20.
We love our men, don't we? And we have good men.
Yes,
Ron and Nate are great, and you guys keep tuning in to both of us because definitely get husband cameos. My husband's actually going to be coming on. Nate's coming on Thursday. He's taking a half day at work, and I was like, "Do we need to pre-record?" Blah blah blah. I've asked him like for the last 3 days in a row. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I got to schedule it. He's going to be my 2:00 Christmas Eve guest. Like legit. So I'm excited, and he's
excited to
really enjoying doing this. So, and then Ron's been coming on with you every night, right? 9:00.
Yeah, I've been pulling him up. I'm like, listen, let's go back to the beginning. Listen, Rondell, we started Perspective in the Portlands in 2016. We were doing it. I mean, we got so many videos. I'm like, dude, come back. We got stuff. Come, get some of this stuff we talking. Let's share it with the people again. So I love when, because it's good to have somebody to balance
too.
And it's not all one-sided, because we are so opposite. So, and I love it because that's what makes us balance. When I say that we have abundance, it is because we enjoy, we laugh, we yell, we fight, we party, we dance, we have drinks, and we have a full life. I love it, and I think life should show everything. That's spirit.
That's what I was gonna say. I just said we are blessed, and that's really what this is all about. This time of year, not crying over dollars and the stress and all that. And you and so many other people have told me too. You know, and I'll bring it up again because you brought it.
Hey, Bree is on.
Remember,
great husband. My husband is definitely on. Bring it
on. Briggity Bree Bree. Can't play with my Bree Bree. What's up? Shout out to the great husbands. My husband is deaf one. Yes, we are. Again, we were just kind of talking over, you know, the importance of Christmas, like what it's really about, you know, the holiday season. You know, it's not about the craziness, the commercialism and all that. And so I wanted to say, like, you coached me through a moment. I say coached, but you friended me. I mean, I just say coached, but I mean, you were a friend.
Yeah. We all coach each other because that's what it is.
I don't want that to take.
But now I'm a doctor.
Like a doctor term. Yeah, you're a doctor now. So
doctor. Listen, the doctor don't stop. If somebody's bleeding, they don't say, "Wait a minute." They say, "I'm the doctor. I've arrived." Right. You're always who you are.
Well, you had when Charlotte had her birthday in September, and I had the issues with my brother and the cousins and all that stuff not coming. They canceled, remember, for silliness, and it devastated the kids and whatnot. And you had told me, why are you worrying about who's not there? You're spending all of this heart and energy and angst and all this on who's not even there. Why don't you focus on who did show up, who's there right now, who's present? And so I feel like that, you know, you brought that up on the show a couple times ago and reminded me of that. I had forgotten that. And, you know, that is another super duper important element about this time of year. You know, most of us can't go be with our families and friends and travel and do all this stuff. You know, everybody's kind of in that boat. And, you know, I needed to be reminded of that, to really just be present with what you have and where you are, be grateful for it, and love on that. That's your gift, you know?
And you gave it right back to me. That's why I say you give to receive, because what I poured in you is almost like I say, when you're banking with somebody. And so when you pour and you are working, or you have your account with the bank, then when you need, you go back. Because not too long ago, remember, I was in my spot like, oh, and you're like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't need anything. I just share. And you're like, no, but you need something. And you was like, write the list and go back from the time. And, you know, and so that was the same thing that I needed. I needed to see me. And sometimes if we judge it by the outside instead of by the inside, like you can always see you and always find a way to see, like, that's enough. Like, if nobody ever says anything, if nobody ever does anything, that everything is already enough. And so what I gave you, you gave right back to me, because that is what relationships are about. It's about saying that sometimes what I poured in you means maybe I forgot I had it. Sometimes you got to be like, you know what? That's why I can pour it back in you, because you gave me that one day. And so you are always given to receive, because you never know when God is going to have to iterate or regurgitate the same thing you put in somebody. So I love when you remind me of something, because when you're doing it effortlessly, you do not remember what you're saying. You only, remember what you're feeling in the moment. And so when you give it back and be like, well, you told me that, I'm like, oh, did I? All right.
I know.
But when you're telling me, I'm like, oh, and you're like this, I'm like, yes, I'm going to do it. And it helps me. So, and I'm like, and you're like, and I'm not trying to coach you. I was like, no, we're all trying to help each other. We all have something special. We all have something to offer. So there is no you're this and I'm that. Is what do we need at the time and who has it, period. And so if at that time, it may be something that I had, but because at this time, I can't even find it in my house, but you know exactly where it is, you go and get it for me, and it's just as good as if it was in my own house. So that's what I love about the relationships that are give and take. That's what it's about,
It's balance, and that's what we as humans always strive for, is the balance, right? Mm-hmm. All right, let me pop you one more question before we wrap it up here, because this one, probably one of my favorites. It comes with such a great visual. You have to actually imagine yourself in either one of these scenarios, because just saying. All right. Would you rather cough, boring, like boring, at a wedding of a close family relative? Like, that's happened. You've seen it in the movies, but would you want to be the one that's like watching your auntie or your sister get married, and you're in the front row and you're just like, boring, this sucks, Or this one's even better. Would you rather wear this one? I can't. Would you rather wear a foam number one hand, like at the basketball games, to the funeral of a family friend? That one's the best to me. I'm like, could you imagine seeing somebody with the foamy
No, I'm
finger at a
definitely,
funeral?
listen, you know I'm definitely going with boring. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to definitely go with boring
Yeah.
because I need to get it in and out and hope nobody caught it from all the feelings I can assume a funeral will have. I'm gonna wait for it. They don't tell you when, so I'm gonna wait for it to get good and crying for me to be like, what? And then nobody's gonna notice it. They're gonna think I just had a moment. I can get away with that, but that
I have Tourette's, you know.
you're not getting away with the finger at the funeral. I'm telling you.
Ask Ron what he would do.
Rondell, would you rather these two options? Would you rather have to cough boring at a family friend's funeral?
Wedding.
I mean wedding. Sorry, wedding at the wedding, or would you? Oh no, I forgot that's the wedding. That's what. Oh, hold up.
So you got to cough
boring at the wedding, or would you rather put the thumb finger up?
The foamy basketball number one finger thing, wear it to a funeral.
Wear it to the funeral.
So foam finger at the funeral or coughing boring at the wedding, and both are family friends. So
you rather wear number one thumb to a funeral, or have to cough boring during the middle of a family close friend's wedding. Where you got to be like boring, you know. Or wear that, you know, that big thumb. This is
the number one, like that they do at basketball games and stuff.
You go, you know that basketball number one, that big old finger, that foam hand.
Yeah.
Would you rather have to wear a foam hand to a funeral or cough boring at a wedding of somebody that's close to you? Now it wouldn't matter if it's somebody you didn't know. It's your daughter.
Yvette says she's going with the foam hand. She's going big. She's going to the funeral with the number one. Well, I guess you could work it. You could be working that and be like, this was my number one right here. My number one. You could find a way around it.
He's talking about he coughing and he's doing the wedding. Mondale said he's doing the wedding too.
He's doing the wedding? I would do the wedding myself. But the foam finger, my God, I'm like, my eyes are tearing. I was laughing so hard when I read that because I got the visual of somebody with the big red foam finger in the funeral. Like, ooh, you could do a comedy movie moment, I think, on that one.
That's funny. That is funny.
Well, yes, so we have gone over like usual, and I thank you so much again for coming.
Yeah.
And thank you.
I go finish what I'm doing
after.
Get back.
It was kind of like your suggestion, saying this is just what everybody needs. This time of year, there's never a time where you don't need or desire or want laughter. There's never a moment where laughter is not going to benefit. So not only did we bring you some silliness and laughs today, but the Soul Doctor continued her coaching through the Christmas season with me and my lessons of love from yesterday. You also got 2 beautiful Christmas poems. Don't Take the Christ Christmas and the Black Nativity, right?
That's right.
Which I expect to see a children's book by next Christmas. I'll help. I'm like serious. I want that on.
That's like I said. There's no help. There's the book. The poem is written. I would just have to find. Get pictures.
Get the pages. Yeah, just make the pretty.
That's a Fiverr problem.
That or call Sierra. It's either going to be Sierra's problem or Fiverr's problem. Either one. Mm-hmm. And then in the beginning too, I went on and I shared about 10 health and emotional and mental and physical, all the mental and physical benefits of laughter. So you guys got some practical benefits of laughter. You got the shenanigans. You got coached by the doctor, the Soul Doctor, and you got the Christmas spirit and what Christmas and Kwanzaa and these holidays are really all about. So this was a packed one, and this whole week has been packed full of blessings. And let everybody know what you're doing tonight and when you're coming on and how they can check you out tonight.
I'll be on at 9 p.m.
At this Precious Calling.
Talking about because I normally don't know till 5 minutes before. But we'll see what's on the calendar. What is today?
Oh yeah, do the calendar.
Dare to be a great student at the University of You.
Dare to be a great student at the University of You. You know who would love that one?
Who?
Bill.
Bill.
William Brown. You got to like take a picture of that or text it and be like, this is today's thing. The University of You. He needs a U university.
But you know, all of these days are in 365. I just put it on the calendar and I condensed my 365. So it's actually like a carbon. The calendar is a celebration of the book.
Right.
Yeah. So now you can have bite-sized little pieces of 365 on there.
A reminder every day. It's like an affirmation every day. But
yeah,
I think Mr. William Brown might want to steal and do something with that whole U university. That sounds totally right up his alley. But anyways, thank you so much.
He be looking like, no, not another project. Let me get this. You gotta understand that we are the women who go like this.
Yes.
Men are like this. So when you be doing when William be like, it's like they're like this. That's why I created we, because they got their thing, they move with this, but we're like, we could do everything at one time. And then we be like, oh God, it's too much.
We're
going to do it all at one time, but we got to take bite-sized pieces because then we're overwhelmed looking like, what's wrong with you?
There was a book that I read one time and it was called Men Are Waffles and Women Are Spaghetti. And that's exactly what you're saying right there is like, women are like spaghetti, all the noodles, everything's going on at the same time, all tangled up. And then the men are like waffles. They compartmentalize and they do each little block of the waffle, you know?
I lost something.
Uh-oh.
No, Rondell's looking for his jacket. Let me go help him find his jacket.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you. I love you and happy holidays. Thank you again for blessing us. And this has been Lessons in Laughter, Love, Holiday Cheer from Melissa Price and the one and only soul doctor, Precious Paul. And I'll be back with you guys at 2:00 tomorrow. And you'll be seeing Precious either later tonight on her page or you'll see her back on Lessons and Legacies on Monday. So, guys, be blessed. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget to laugh. Take that old 80-year-old out for the 40 grand. I'm just saying.